Right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermore. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's indiecd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. We're also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others, as well as here somewhere. I'm sorry, I was working on things. Hates and hellfire, dark secret is claimed 2 lives, and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the forces of darkness. Happy Monday, Nevermorians. As we get ready to engage in battle with this lovely week, I come to you, a man who's probably looking like he's been hanging out with Nita far too long. That will come into my accountability. But before I get into that, I do have some announcements. Now, first announcement is actually going to be why this show cannot go after noon today, which it shouldn't, but distinct reasons. There's a lovely lady named Stacy who is running a book buyers show through her Facebook group, and it will be today. I'm not quite 1,000% sure on the format, if it's going to be auction style, first come, first serve. You'll have to go there. But this looks like it's going to be a really great chance for those of us who have a little bit of money to throw at some things to get some hard copy books and support, a small business. So the online book sale is coming up. It will be at noon Central Time. That means 1 a.m. Wow. 1 p.m. my time. It's something to look forward to. The other announcement has to do with what I was just working on off screen, which means we may actually port over to a little bit of art time with Nick, because we have matters that require celebration. Those of you long-standing fans, followers, and know that today, actually yesterday, is the start of a very special holiday in these parts, and one I encourage all of you to begin to participate in. This all stems from a single book. One of my favorite books of all time, certainly one of my family's favorite books of all time, A Night in the Lonesome October by Roger Zelazny. This book was introduced to me by my lovely wife, and it chronicles the Lovecraftian adventures of a coming apocalypse as told from the perspective of Jack the Ripper's dog, Snuff. The art in the volume I have is done by legendary artist Gahan Wilson, and it is brilliant. If you want to see a case study in how to use public domain characters well, this book features it. This is the movie that I would beg Universal Studios to make. They're not brave enough to make it, but I would beg for them to make it because it's just brilliant. Now, we acquired this book, our copy of this book. It's a very special copy because every year for the month of October, we would check it out of the South Haven Public Library. And then we would renew it once because you get 2 weeks, we need a month. And every single chapter following the introduction is broken down by days of the month of October, leading you to the climax on October 31st. So it puts you in this lovely format of a nightly read. Now, for a long time, this book was out of print. It was very hard to find. So we got into a discussion when we wanted to share this with friends of how one could acquire it, and we made certain recommendations. And we realized something, that coming up this time of year, it's a time of year for readers. It really is. You get that nice cold snap. Days get a little shorter. The evil orb in sky is not in sky as much. And there is a sense of wonder and of possibility. So what began was an idea. In certain countries, the tradition at Christmas time is everyone exchanges books, and then you spend the Christmas vacation essentially piled down, which is beautiful for those who can financially exchange books. However, those of us who can't afford to buy all our friends' books, which we understand, could do things much easier, like gift ebooks or find PDFs of things or write wonderful stories. And as a large number of us are authors, a holiday was rapidly born called Leafy Moss. Leafy Moss is the celebration of the start of reading season, which begins September 28th, because that is every year when I go looking for my copy of A Night in the Lonesome October, and runs all the way through, I usually say November 7th. That allows for everyone to have a little more wiggle time if they have to skip a day or two and they don't want to rush to catch up. And because that, that date has significance to me. During that whole time, people are encouraged to randomly gift others PDFs. Much more leaning, if you can, to things you've written, to spread stories and merriment. And of course, because of the seasons of spooky leaning. Now, I had planned to have a lovely frame, calligraphy for Leafy Mouse. And that gets to how yesterday went. Yesterday was a very interesting day for me. I got up and I walked immediately into Xander having a very, very, very bad / difficult day, which required my physical intervention and assistance situation. I had to do my thing for several hours. Following that, some meals, basically following that, eating something, I retired back to the bedroom in a state of exhaustion. I hadn't slept well. Current events being what they are. I encourage you all to watch the news. I encourage you all to do some research. But during that time, there is a gap. I woke up. After I woke up, I dealt with the Xander situation. I spent better part of 3 hours talking with a friend who was looking to make some very poor life choices and advising him otherwise, and then advising him and trying to comfort him when the previous version of the poor life choices kind of caught up with him. We all go through a lot. I try to support people. Very difficult. So then I was tapped now physically and emotionally, went to take a nap. Sorry if it's a little scrambled. When I explained how I woke up to being told dinner's ready. And as I was getting out of my machine and such, there was, the call of, "Oh, poop." And the Nick field is a phenomenon in which entropy and causality go absolutely insane around me in strange and frankly colorful ways. It decided to manifest. It's the only thing I can figure, as it's inclined to, especially if I get too tired or stressed. This is tongue-in-cheek, but in the form of a bottle of cayenne pepper, which fell off the rack. And this is the only way we can figure it happened. Rebounded off of the toaster oven, hitting the stovetop in true Final Destination style while the lid came off in this process, spreading cayenne pepper all over said stovetop. Now, we have an electric stove, so we didn't have a flash fire, thankfully. We have one of those glass stovetops. However, what we did have could only be described as pepper smoke, which erupted and quickly filled my house. I should have been filmed. Thus, we had to vent that out and deal with the ramifications of them trying to clean out and air it out, and me walking into, because the doors were open, so it had condensed out of the kitchen as the fans were directing it to the front door. I did not know, and I got a face full of condensed pepper smoke. I am prone to reacting to irritants. Shockingly, anyone who's seen on the show knows I react to irritants. But the coughing fits that overtook me made it, like I said, made it look like, not just neat, it made it look like I had been hitchhiking and caught a ride from Willie Nelson's tour bus, which, as everyone who knows me knows, I do not engage in such things. But, whew, it did affect. It affected my evening plans, and it certainly affected my sleep. So there was no small amount of the coughing, the gagging, the etc. So I did not have time that I had planned to set down and complete the Leafy Moss frame. So I will probably do that after the first ad, and if the show runs a little late, the show runs a little late. I am okay with that. I know you guys hate to have me do a random fun drawing time, but I am really thinking we need fun drawing time. I also encourage everybody on the list to pay attention. If you can find books in print, especially nonfiction, perhaps would be a good one to read. This is a great year for it. And there is a secret Leafy Moss folder for certain people, and it has to remain secret to the public, because many of us put early drafts of our works up there. And frankly, as someone who's had a lot of my stuff stolen over the years, art-wise and attempted literary-wise, benefits of having a unique writing style and a colorfully abusive relationship with word order makes it very difficult for somebody who doesn't write that way to claim my work is theirs. However, for the safety of all, it is in a secret shared folder. And unfortunately, because of how I do it, I can't add subfolders. So it is a very strange and cluttered folder. That adds to the charm. Other documents may be thrown up there, but I do recommend a few books that you might want to have. There are several really fascinating books on the subjects of things like social movements or social stratification. Sociology is something I'm passionate about. Psychology, I find, and Carl Witzman will certainly be able to attest, I would think, that it is geared toward the individual and is highly focused on labeling the traits an individual has, especially at the lower levels of understanding. Treatment gets much more interesting, but it is very good for understanding the self and for understanding people on a one-to-one basis. And from that, you can create demographics and things like that. But one-to-one is. On the other side, sociology, how do I explain this? If psychology gives you the dots, all these dots of individual people, sociology takes the dots and the demographics and stuff, puts them together, and then looks very, very hard at what lines connect them and why and how they move, changing those connections. as my brain lives and delights in pattern recognition and the tracking of such things. Very interested in the whys. And being that I'm also historically focused, I enjoy seeing the mechanics, the nuts and bolts of how things happen, how things change. I recommend these as subject matters so that we can be better informed across the board. I also encourage people to get a hold of historical documents and simply read them. In my personal beliefs, and this is my personal beliefs, they're shared by some, but not all. Two of the most beautiful documents, most fascinating documents, or compilations of documents, as it were, ever created by humanity are also two of the most fascinating documents in that they are almost the subject of idolatry in their existence, while simultaneously failing to do the work of their content. Because I understand reading serious documents can require effort. But I encourage people to take the time out, especially as very often these two documents are taught selectively. One of them is basically any variant of the Bible, the Judeo-Christian religious text. And I'm not necessarily looking at this as a religious volume. I am looking at this for the purpose of this conversation as a mix of stories and philosophy. One may argue dogma in a different video. That's not what this is for. Please be civil in the comments. And I say that because a great many people hold it up and a great many people use it as explanation for things, but said great many people not only often haven't read it, they often haven't realized that much of what they attribute to it is actually from fan fiction. Fan fiction is nothing new. If you want fun, read Dante's Divine Comedy. Delightful fan fiction, but you'll see some imagery that many people would believe is from a religious text. It is not. And it is fascinating to see that from a perspective of, again, fan fiction as literature. But the other one I suggest you read, because I don't want to get too far into the field, is this. It's called the Constitution of the United States of America. And you can get it in a lovely hardbound copy like this for, I want to say I paid a mighty $6. I know you can get a paper-bound copy for like $2.50 through the Zon. Holding it up is a cool thing, but it works much better if you read it. So, a suggestion. It is not that big a volume. That's the funny thing. I mean, the words, there's a lot of words in here, but I would hazard to say 10-point font, and skipping the introduction that frankly I'm only minorly interested in. The document itself interests me. It is a mighty 40 pages. might be something you might want to read. It used to be taught frequently. It isn't taught as much. Read it. It's fascinating. Now, in the realm of fiction, oh my gosh, do we have some great books out there. The Tom Darby books by Dan Hallfield spring to mind. Infinity by Terry Bachman is one I read quite some time ago, but it's a good book. Basically and I'm not even being farcical, anything from Brian K. Morris's vast publication library, and not just because I consider him a mentor and a friend. Donna and Carl both have cranked out incredible books. Many of them are quick reads, and that's not a bad thing. Enjoy the quick reads. Our own Rich Asplund has done quite a few things. Some of them are available. Some of them need to be formally published because they've been sitting in short story format in my folder for months. But I encourage you to read. I encourage you to study. And I encourage you to learn and expand your mind, because very often, and this is me on a soapbox, but I really don't care. It's my show and my soapbox. Very often people will complain about the inadequacy of the American school systems, the American educational system. And the show is largely, not fully, geared towards Americans. However, there comes a point where, as adults, we must accept responsibility for ourselves. And in the past, information was quite a bit harder to get. Exposure to classic works was difficult. Exposure to nonfiction works, exposure to the great poems were difficult to encounter. Either they were simply too expensive, or you would have to go to this thing called a library and look them up on a card catalog to find where they were if you did not wish to speak with a librarian. I'm passionate on the subject of reading libraries and the promotion of intellectual thought. But to have intellectual thought and ideas, you need to have people willing to stop and think. So I encourage that, especially as I have younger audience members. And if they feel and know they are not getting a well-rounded education, then it is our obligation as individuals to educate ourselves. I also want to classify something and clarify something. When I say read, it can be in a book. It can be on a screen, Kindle, on your phone, on your PC, on your tablet. I don't care. You can watch a film version. You can listen to audiobooks. None of these are inherently lesser than the others, contrary to what many teachers say, because not everyone learns from the visual written word. Not everyone enjoys from the visual written word. And that's okay. And anyone saying otherwise is gatekeeping, and gatekeeping is wrong. Writing must be available to the public. It must be accessible to the public, and I'm passionate on that subject. Now, that being said, accessibility is sometimes an issue. I encourage you to look into it. I also encourage you, whenever you can afford to, if you have the comfortable means to, get it in hard copy. And the reason I say get it in hard copy is very simple. Wow, having offline copies of digital work, beautiful. Having offline videos and audiobooks of things is beautiful, especially if it is in physical media. We are connected to the internet. The internet is convenient. The internet is beautiful. The internet is the greatest opportunity for the exchange of ideas in the history of humanity. But the internet, and I'm not going to sing the song. I know some of you are thinking about the song, and I will completely Aunt Connie you. That's not what the internet is for. The internet is malleable. Digital information is very easy to change. And when you're talking about written histories, you are talking about legal documents, you are talking about textbooks, which you can buy yourself at surprisingly low cost. Especially if it's a year or two old. When you have a volume, a hard copy, and I admit, as a librarian, as a book lover, I am a sucker for the permabound. This right here, this perfect bound, permabound, delights me. Get it, store it. It will work if the power goes out. It will work if the internet is down. But if that's not how you learn, that's okay too. But learn, read, and think. Ask questions and then try to find them out. That was a fundamental piece of my upbringing, especially once the internet became available. Before then, my dad would have a question, and he would pull out things like we did not have a full encyclopedia. We could not afford a full encyclopedia. I lament that. Even though most encyclopedias are not being printed, I would still love to have a full encyclopedia. It's one of those things. However, the expense is prohibitive for now. He had a big book of knowledge. It's the only thing I got. It was like a low-cost first volume thing. He would look into it. If he didn't know what a word meant, he would go in and open up. We didn't just have a dictionary. We had the Oxford New English Dictionary. Things like this big, sat right beside the family Bible. And we're talking the Catholic Bible, Uber book. And the meaning of words is there. And for all the difficulties that I had growing up, I was never once chastised for having to look something up. My dad always encouraged it. And I encourage it with you guys. If you don't know, look it up. But look it up from a credible source. Remember, everyone has their right to an opinion, but everyone's expertise is not necessarily the same. I would not go to a lawyer for advice on fixing my car. I would not go to a baker for advice on the law. And I would not go to a mechanic for advice on how to make a cake. In each of their fields, they have a lot of knowledge. But that does not mean they have a lot of knowledge in all their fields. That means it's up to us to all become generalists. Generalization is the superior long-term survival trait over specialization. Having a specialty is good. Having a specialty and then general knowledge beyond everything else is better. And I don't ever want you guys to settle for merely good. So what we're going to do, I'm going to drop out, run Joe's ad. I'm going to hit your comments. I know I hit some spicy topics. If anyone is rude, I will simply skip your comment. I don't have time for misbehavior. Then, once I've plastered through the few hundred comments I am behind currently, I'll bring this up, and I might, as I am doing this, work on doing the leafy moss frame, which will be a little bit of fun. As I said, I don't know how long the show will go, but I do want to be off the air by 1 my time. Probably much sooner than that, but I'm just letting you guys know so that you can go over to Stacy's book sale. Okay, so I'll see you back in a minute and a half, and we'll go from there. Hello, everyone. Let's get back into the comments. And wow. Here we go. Now, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dan Hollifield. And Grimm's saying good morning, Dan. Good morning, Grimm. Before we go any farther, Grimm, as our communication lines are, frankly, at this point, notoriously unreliable, due to increasing current events and what they may represent, I ask that you pass the message to Churro if she is not here. Be extra careful. Just be careful, guys. I worry about my kids. I worry about the ones I made from home. I worry about the ones I would adopt if I could afford to. I worry. No matter the disagreement, I will always worry. That's who I am. So please be careful. And Donna's just greeting people. Hey, Donna, how you doing? Hey, Witzman dude. And good morning, folks. Good morning, Joe. I need to comment, and it's been weighing heavily on my mind because I've been helping people with assorted problems that the implied confidences of who I am and what I do forbid me from going into details of, but it has of late reminded me just how incredible some of my friends genuinely are. And whenever I think of that list, Joe and Trelana Bachman spring first and foremost to mind. And the rest of you are right along after, but yeah. Love you guys. Hey, Joe. And hey, all. Nick X countertops one shot done. I did read that at a glance. Grim, I'm going to watch your commentary. I'm going to keep you on a short leash. All right? Oh, no. Yep. Dog taken to the kennel for the day. Painting will be accomplished today. Excellent. It's not as bad as it could have been. I hope so. No painted tail today? Not unless today is more fun than any. Man, gonna make me break this out this early. Not the green room, guys. Not the green room. Grim is poking. Yep. And Dan got green roomed. Grim the bear might just poke back. Beware. The next thing Nick's wife sees is Nick and the counters being reunited as the funny little man managed to bring all the countertops home. And now his wife is staring him like, what the heck? As Nick is sitting on his own lawn like a lizard, but instead of a hot rock, it's cold countertops. Fortunately, I have a sense of humor. Have fun with that, guys. How did all that fit in the bed of your truck? I made it work. I am having high school flashbacks. It's all fun and games until someone pokes out their eye. Pokes their eye out. Dyslexia! Metaphorically, that is. Poking your own eye and biting your tongue sucks. Indeed. Well, yeah. I get every morning remind myself not to do such things. Much like my goal is to go to bed with the same number of holes in me I started out with, no more and no less. Foxy lady. Whoa, foxy lady. Talking about foxy lady. And that lady is Lisa and Kitties. Anyway. Foxy, when your teeth hit each other wrong. That is a curse. Sudden awareness of teeth. That's right up there with yelling at people going manual breathing. But that never happens to me anymore. LOL, no top teeth. That explains a lot. Just got notification that somebody tried to access my Facebook account, went to change my password through the app on my phone. It said it couldn't because it isn't a device I use often. I use Facebook on my phone more than any other device I own. Womp womp. Wow, Joe, they make it more difficult than it has to be. Indeed. It's harder to prove your identity to these services than it is to hack you. Yes. Sad but true. Don't forget to like and share, folks. Yes, please. Hey, Foxy. Long ago, I put in for that FB privacy statement, and my $32 is on its way. Good on you. Botrix correctly joined the channel. There's been an uptick of Russian and Chinese bots trying to get me to change my passwords lately. Joe, that's not Joe's wife. That's not Joe's wife. So not Joe's wife must have been trying to hack Joe's account. That makes perfect sense. I joined in that one too. So it's 32. Hey, morning, says Dawn. Hi, Dawn. And of course, Dawn is the mastermind that came up with the lovely creatures that I humbly submit as fan art. Buddy and Georgette, her fanciful felines, pausing to let her squee because for some reason that brings her great joy. And if there's anything I can do, it's bringing joy to the ladies I know. Okay, now. I joined in that one too, so it's 32. Morning. Hi, Dawn. And it's balmy 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I was out before the show sitting in the low 60s in utter delight. I had to catch my breath. Again, because like I said, the house still has whiffs of Satan's popcorn. But utterly delightful. Hey, Don, I love the fall. I get my 32. I think it's 35 if you took the virtual credit card. The request for physical card, they take 2 off for that because, of course, say for headphones now. Dawn. Nice. I think I did digital. Can't remember now. Flinging my like onto the pile. Please, guys, I could use the likes. Ortho follow-up today. Should get my splint off and stitches out. Today's going to crawl until my appointment. Oh, gall. I am so sorry, Dawn. Hey, chat. Hey, Birdcage. It's been quite a while. How are you, good sir? No email from them yet, but they have a few more weeks. Yes, Dawn. Please be careful. Welcome, Bird. Best of luck, Dawn. May your stitches come out smoothly. Hi, Bird. Bird. She posts some pics of the books in the categories you can claim ones if you want. They're priced on the pics. Oh, is that how it does it? Excellent. I just wanted to promote that because, frankly, I was, I saw that small businesses trying to make something cool. And if you came in late, the Stacy's Book Rack Buyers Club on Facebook is having a book sale. Shipping is $4.75 for the first book. After that, all $1. Extra books may be more, and most are priced between $1 and $6. Get yourself some quality books. And accountability. Got the usual irons in the fire? See previous episodes for details. What? Oh, God, I have so much accountability that I didn't even mention. I am waiting for the eventual wrath of my beta readers. Greetings. Foxy, be sure to check your junk mail folder, too. Joe, IndieCD, happy now? Good luck. Oh, I have been. So far, they've gone to inbox. Leafy Moss. Yes, Leafy Moss. At Don DeLoss, I'm not even close to being done with the redoing the site. Maybe a teeny step closer. Yeah, Leafy Moss. Yeah. I may be keeping an eye out to acquire a flash drive for you, Grim, because not all donations to the Leafy Moss folder are age appropriate. I do not put censorship on the Leafy Moss folder. I do ask people at least warn what's going in there. So a, for legality, censored, safer version may appear your way. Link to the Facebook sales group. Thank you, because I'm going to need a chance to work on it this weekend. We were pretty busy. We were busy pretty much the whole weekend. Indeed. Hugs to Xander. Hope today is better for him. I hope today is better for all of us. Yesterday was a day. You'll get there, Joe. No worries, Joe. I know your plate is full. We believe in you. Doesn't help that I spent Sunday at urgent care because of that cyst I've had on my elbow for 15 years. Decided during breakfast it was time to let loose. Oh, God. Joe, I'm all right now, but I have to remember that I don't have extra padding on that elbow now. Oh my gosh. Ouch, Joe. Oh no. Um, what did you call him again? And what's the result of being drained? And you just answered part of my suffering is comedy gold for others and myself. I am aware of this. Didn't hurt at all, even when the doctor drained a bit more to get a culture to make sure there's no infection. Just have to keep a Band-Aid on it and try draining it more until my next appointment. Trey called it nubbins. I'm glad it's going that well. My dad had a cyst on his back recently, require tending, and it was severely infected for a while, so I've had to deal with some rather deep concerns between him and my mom's heart surgery. And while they're both doing much better, it has been a run, so I'm glad it's going better for you. Trey called it nubbins. Hugs for Joy. Poor Joy. Rip nubbins. Poor Nick. Only Nick. Sounds like the authors at the event at the Civic Center went well. I'm pretty sure I'd have gone if I wasn't splinted. I would have gone. Okay. Only Nick's. Is that a website for part-time sex? During the great airing out, we had to turn off all the air conditioners to open windows and things. And we had all our fans running, but we took the filters that I put on the fans off to get the air moving and out. The filters go back on today to purge the rest, but I looked around and I looked at my lovely wife and I said, Nick, yes, I said, hey, babe, no air conditioners, huh? She goes, well, yeah. So it's only fans? The groan and eye roll could have shaken the foundations of the world. But did go to Bark in the Park, the toy store, got a haircut, and shenanigans with Emmy, including a Goodwill run, dinner, and puzzling. I am not allowed to go to a Goodwill run for quite some time. I guess that meant only in Nick's world would such a sequence of oddly unfortunate events occur. It does. I mean, that is like, I wasn't even surprised. I was concerned because I slept through large parts of it. But surprisingly, with doing all that, I didn't overdo it. Good job, Don. Looks like Willow's birthday's today. Ooh, we'll have to go say that. I really love my back scratcher some days. That's fair. Good, Don. And we're going to skip the bot. Psychology, sociology. But we also have to account for the environment at the time. The equivalent of Nick's pepper smoke will occur in history and mess up our perceptions. Yes, and we cannot judge. There are certain things that are massive peeves. We cannot judge history necessarily by the moralities and mores and norms of our current time, or else that can dramatically jade and color our perceptions of what's going on, for better or for worse. Proof that my program is indeed educational. What? No, nothing out of the norm, bud. Okay, you can open the door. It's okay. What did you hear me talking about that you're worried about?
Oh, I couldn't understand what you were saying. I
Well,
was wondering if you were talking about me or telling someone that you're worried about me.
well, a while ago I did mention that I was worried about you, and that I worry about you, and that I worry about what I said was I worry about the son I made, which is you. Well, me and Maddie made.
Dusty?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. And that I worry about the kids that I would adopt if I could adopt. Are you watching the show out in the living room?
No, I'm just laying in the living room.
Okay. Well, why don't you pet Dusty, and I'll I'll do my show, and then when I'm done, we'll come out and talk. Okay? Interesting. Okay. Sorry about that. All righty. And psychology. Oh, yes. Nick's Pepper Smoke. Morning, all. Just got in from some field work. Well, I hope you're warm and safe and comfortable. And hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day and a good start. I actually think so. I think yesterday sucked up some of my more negative luck, and things will be going better. And hey, Trey. Hey, Chris. It's a bit frozen now. It's only 50 right there. Oh, God. But if you don't have to go anywhere, you wake up and it's 50 degrees and you cuddle. Oh, hey, Chris. Squee. Greetings. Still waiting for the emoji version of the Constitution. Now my brain is trying to write an emoji version of at least the Bill of Rights. Anyway, is that challenge? Carl Churro could probably do it. Churro probably could. Can I be one of your younger audience viewers? In this case, I was referring to those under the age of 18, majority, or having their full frontal lobe, fully developed frontal lobes. Sure, Don. What bones are you donating, though? I think that I said green room once. I had to steal my education. Joe, don't just take what they give you. Learn more than that. Absolutely. Trey, do they have to be bones from my body? Grim, no trouble. Any bones are good. Good point, Trey. Excellent. In that case, all the bones. I have bones for every. Oh, I'm going to sub into my hands. Okay. That comment reminded me distinctly of some graffiti that I saw from Portland. I am not going to repeat what the graffiti said, but it just sprung to mind. I've got some dog bones. Do they count? Bones of my enemy. Hey, Trey. Missed you coming in. Hey, Donna. I snuck in after field work. Good morning, King Nichols. No kings here, Houston Dave. Just a man with some ideas. Because, Mr. Creedy, ideas are bulletproof. Trey is being ninja. She trained with the original ninja, master of the shadow plaid. I have a penchant for finding dry remains while rambling and foraging. She really does. Like, I know Trey's proclivities, but I'm also astounded that she doesn't pull up in her new house, a very delightful and cozy hut with chicken legs. Time to bind our own books, boys. Do that one too. When the Constitution is made illegal, only criminals will have the Constitution. Turning that argument around, indeed. Uh, only a little bit scary, right? Local death witches like ethically sourced bones, so they will love me. Nothing wrong with that. Libraries have good sets of encyclopedias, and you can borrow those. That's why I love libraries. Scary is the fact that she stumbles through the woods like a drunken elephant wearing bright colors and can still walk up on a herd of deer. Faye. You wouldn't believe how loud deer are, though. Graceful they are not. Yeah. And I do love occasionally I'm asked to debunk a bit of video. What do you think of this? And the woods in Appalachia are dangerous at night. Here's why. And while the woods in Appalachia are indeed dangerous at night, when I see a video that I recognize having been shot in Missouri or Indiana or something, people are going, what are those sounds? And I'm listening, and it's like, you have never heard deer in your life and some of the noises they can make. That's a deer. And that is a bobcat. Possibly a mountain lion, but probably a bobcat, lynx, something like that, and probably in heat. Okay, let's go. That's scary, Joe. Faye. Most of my formal education came from spending more time in a library than a classroom. However, being raised by a large and old family gave loads of lore and experience too. And that's called a balanced education. And the trick is you don't stop. Okay. I'm not wearing my radical librarian shirt, but rest assured, it's always in my heart. If a group tries to ban a book, any given book, as an adult, certainly, and I have to say that because of the reason some people try to ban books, so you understand. As an adult, you probably should at least look at it. You should scan it, understand why they are trying to ban it. Read banned books. Whenever there is a layer of knowledge, and they say, you only need to know here. This is as much as you need to understand. That's all you need to be useful in a formatted version of a 1940s or 1930s factory. Because, of course, the children long for the minds. And I've done that, right? Clutches on four legs right here, especially in mud. No wonder why you both are a pair. Speaking outside of one's field is called ultraseptarian. Crepitarian. Probably as close as I'm going to get. I'll have to work that. One thing that's wonderful, guys, especially for those of us who read words a lot that we don't hear, so we're not sure how to pronounce, especially those of us who fight certain types of speech impediment. Google has a wonderful feature, which I'm sure I would hope everyone knows about, but I never want to presume, where you can type in a word and how it's pronounced, and it will give you a text box and a little mic button that you hit, and it will say the word for you. It's really fascinating and useful to me. College sucked for me since I had been in management for years before I actually formally learning how to manage. Oh my gosh. Technically, if they would have let me take one more class, I would have had an associate's in OLS. organizational leadership studies. College business education is a strange thing. It is actually the most gate-kept and rather problematic of all the assorted disciplines I looked into, believe it or not. And I'm still appalled at what they called their Accounting 101, because a 101 course should not require prerequisites, but their version of teaching accounting presumed you had taken at least 3 semesters of it in high school. I still think I think that was false advertising. But yes, in a fun story, my business leadership course, the prof missed so many classes. He was there about every 4th class that I personally, for our time slot, ended up just teaching the class. I literally ended up coming in early because I would come in and I would read the chapter that we were supposed to do, and I'd go over it, and I'd be reading, and people come ask me things, and it started like a group study, and then I just ended up teaching it. I ended up in a B, with a B, for a class I taught, because our advertising program that he claimed was part of the business leadership course, but was actually him outsourcing how to develop advertising programs for one of his clients. That my group got a B in because we didn't attack the other groups. It was a very strange course. But yes, oh my gosh, and ice, Foxy. Right, skaters, they are not. Indeed. I don't have time for misbehavior. Wait until he reads the sneak peeks of the countertop one-shot. You kept it all tolerable. And I understand the spirit it's done in. I have no idea how they came to thought as graceful, because when they are, they are. And then suddenly they're not. And part of the reason they look like such yutzes is because when they are not crashing and burning, they look so beautiful, bounding elegantly through the fields. It's long legs. Then why am I not graceful? My short legs? They appear graceful. We know that. We know the truth. And they are not soft either. Absolutely not. Their coat is so wiry. Oh, yeah. You know, long legs does not equal graceful. Have you met me? Good Lord. Am I going to have to start a mandatory female footwork class again? I'm running an ad. I'm just, y'all have earned an ad. Okay, we need to work on your footwork and oh gall. Where's Kat Rothermel when I desperately need her? Mindfulness. And yes, I associate Kat Rothermel with the word mindfulness. because she has done some really neat writings on it. I don't have a link properly, but you'll see it in her ad. Yes, even the babies, Lamau though they have soft noses. Most of the skill in walking is realizing it is barely a controlled fall. And it's so much easier if you can throw yourself at the ground and miss. Anyway, Foxy and I out here ruining everyone's Bambi dreams. Here's the thing. I quite like deer. I quite like most creatures in nature. I have some exceptions, and some I tolerate, provided they stay the living Hades away from me. But deer have one interesting trait that makes them problematic, aside from being lovely to watch and stuff. And I am very much I would prefer to catch things with a camera than I would prefer to catch them with a firearm. But deer make summer sausage and hot sticks that are delicious if they come from Indiana and are corn-fed deer. None of this nasty pine needle-fed Michigan garbage. And it's really hard to go, that is a beautiful piece of nature. And as venison, I'm not fond of venison unprocessed, unless it has been, sausagified. But hot sticks? Summer sausage? We used to have so much of that because my wife's Uncle George was not a deer hunter. Calling him a deer hunter would be an insult. The man was a deer assassin. His sons, my cousins-in-law, I'm never sure about titles. Anyway, great fellows, wonderful, wonderful gentlemen. But one of them could not get a deer until he had fallen out of a tree stand. It's annual. And they very early on started the most powerful chant of people who are involved in the pursuit of deer for yumminess. If it is brown, it is down. Which meant, there are reasons cows and dogs and people should all wear reflective vests at all times in the woods at certain points of the year in Indiana. I look away from chat, and now we're talking about Dawn Soft-Nosed Note, dear. And good morning, King Dave. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. We love Dave. I hope you are doing well. Morning, Dave. Carl, we were talking more about deer. I'm not sure. I'm sure Dawn's snoot is very boopable, too. I believe Xander has. It takes out a caliber sword, doesn't this? Dubs the Sir Swiss Miss Chocolate Overload. Okay, the Swiss Miss jumps me to one of my favorite movies of all time. It's called Flypaper. Gall. Just look it up. Just go find Flypaper. It has one of the side characters is one of the guys from Oh Brother Where Art Thou. Ashley Judd is in it, and I cannot remember the main lead's name. Not Matt Smith. I always get the wrong one. But Constantine's in it. Watch that movie. Brilliant. Lots of swearing, unusual amounts of violence, no nudity, no sex. But it's one of, if not the greatest heist movies of all time. I will take that and throw that in the face of Ocean's Anything. Bam. Great movie. Given our height difference, it might have to be to jump to boop it, though. Never tried booping her nose. Making plans for HoloCon. Giggles. leave my phone for a minute. Look at it. Good thing I have coffee now. I'm actually glad y'all find my nose boopable. It could not have been Joe's kids. They should be getting older now. True. My babies. Oh, God, I'm that far behind. Okay, let me blast through some of these or else I won't be able to art live. We don't know that yet, Dawn. Nothing like actual tests to prove it. Folks, you have until the clock strikes midnight tomorrow to get a Halcyon badge before the prices go up. Good. 63 degrees this morning. It's about 78. Hey, all. Hey, Grant. Bam. We're just going to skip that. Sorry I'm late. I was working till 2 last night. Nice, Dave. You're fine, Grant. Good morning. And that happens. And we're skipping another one. Not allowed a third cup of coffee. I have stuff to do beyond sitting in a chair trying not to be ill. I understand that. Good morning, gang. Good morning, Dave. Hello, Dave. I can't do that for you, Dave. Or, alternately, they're dead, Dave. They're dead. He's dead. They're all dead, Dave. And now I want to watch Red Dwarf. Knowing's one limit is a good thing, Dan. She uses the money from sales to help pay for the books they give to the school children as gifts. Rock on. Also, no shipping on orders over 50, I guess, too. If I were not so broke right now. Hi, Carl, Trey, and Foxy, and anyone I missed. Indeed. The Kickstarter is going well. Please check it out if you haven't already. Kickstarter.com/project/Mr. Rantastic Memoirs of the Morbid Orange Volume. It's an homage. There's that word again. And greetings to Grant. Greetings to Grant. Hey, kiddo. Love you, Xander. Boop. Okay. Xander. Xander. Dawn says, hey, kiddo. Love you, Xander. Boop.
Hi.
Actually says, boop. And Trey says morning, Xander. And Foxy says morning, Xander.
Hi.
So there you go. You want to come wave for them so that they can see?
No.
No? Okay. Try. You brought frontal lobes. I went green room. I understand. Green room yourself. Yeah, good man. I'm green rooming Dawn right now because she has earned a green rooming at this point. For the frontal lobes. Lobes, not globes. Lobes. Okay. And we've got big bones, but we've got we got big bones. Yeah. You guys, if I see you see it. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, Grim. Your comment, it's not sticking. Sorry, there's some kind of glitch every time I try to bring that up. I think it was Trey's bones for everyone's broken. Trey, our conversations become roller coasters of thought. Trey is giggling. Of course, to be fair, my mind works like that all the time. Same here. Drives thesis up the wall sometimes. Because he will be all, how did you get from A to Q? The woods are not dangerous because I am in them. And they're not dangerous to you. Lynx and Heat, good bad name. Horrid sound though. Didn't say it was a good band, just a good name. Carl, if we were playing Jeopardy, what do you call the WNBA in Minnesota when they are all crabby? Oh. Pun face reaction. Gee, Don, what do you call it? You say it said it. I just formed the question. Counting CPT? Oh. Lynx and Heat. Wow. LOL, facepalm, poor Foxy. Days like this, I really love my non-connective tissues. I like venison, wild bear, boar, oak. I've also tried crocodile, and
Here you go.
ostrich jelly. Oh, thank you, son. He refilled my water bottle, which means I can hydrate later. I just have to let it. He's very good at refilling the water bottle. He occasionally gets water where it shouldn't be, and I have to let it kind of do its thing. Venison is good. Like I said, I prefer it. It's not a big game. Wild boar is delightful. Elk is, again, it's like venison, but more. Crocodile. Have I had crocodile? I think I've had crocodile jerky. Alligator's pretty good, but kind of chewy. Ostrich is just good. Ostrich, it's a big bird. It's a can dancing giant chicken. I have no problem with that. Foxy. Hope it gets better soon. Me too. Dear Tasty grew up with Dad being a hunter. Mm-hmm. May take healing energy. I may be taking healing energy from you, Foxy. Overlord. That works. We will go with that. I have to go paint now. Lynn may look up Nick's show on her laptop so I can listen to the living room. He used to fish too, Trey. Say it. Say it. You're fine, Dawn. You'll go back eventually. I've yet to have to go to a doctor to do it. A fish in every feast. Jason Muse, and it's ad time for a moment. Let's see. Not me sitting here carefully trying to do digital calligraphy. Not me sitting here carefully trying to do digital calligraphy. That last stroke. Did I goof it up? Yep. Hush! Calligraphy. Yeah, I shouldn't use that S. I don't like that S. Hold on. I could show this to you. There we go. I'm going to have to play with it, but it's still in the rough sketch. You'll see it next time. Okay. We comment dump and Jason Muse. Indeed. Pinky Wiggles Trey. Pinky Wiggles was fun, but I can't convince the hands to do it. It happens. Dave. But hamster ball Dave with a bow tie. Indeed. As long as it isn't looped fish. Oh, no thank you. Finished my Munsey walk this morning. Good. And Garbo. And good job, Dawn. And Lamau. And want to find other great creators? Go to ndcd.org for tons of great creators. Not loose, loot, fisk. Curtsy and bow to everyone. With a smug grin on my face and a little bit of an evil giggle. I just try to curtsy and wind up flat on my face, Dawn. Oh, that's terrible. Good job. The banhammer may come my way today. You're okay. It's been good to see Dawn in a better mood, even if a bit wild. Wondering where the demanding cats are. They are being closed. They are plotting, Dawn. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Only as evil masterminds in my plot. Last stroke, because after things get sensitive. Indeed. Well, time for me to head back towards the job site. Catch y'all later. Catch you, Joe. Nine likes. Make it 10, please. If you don't like it, tell me why. Get in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. See, I told you I was doing calligraphy. I just have to move some stuff around. So yes, I am working on a leafy moss frame. I just think I need to center it more, perhaps. It's still in the blues. But that's what I'm working on right now. Stroke of Nick's ego. The counter is too tall for his liking. I told you I keep a step ladder in my truck. But I don't know. I kind of like how it was. We'll see. But yes, this is what I'm just gonna hit cancel, and I'm gonna say cancel because that puts it right back where it was, and I'll move it around. We'll try. But back to a regular pen. No, I want my Kiro pen. If I'm running one. And I'm not sure yet what kind. And I went Icanthus leaves over here, but I really want to keep a more fall-like mentality. So I may add something else over here. I'm not sure because I don't want it to be too Halloween-y. Because while Halloween has its place, Leafy Moss is its own holiday. I don't know. This may be what I end up working on after a time because it seems like people are leaving. And I will be needed soon. So you may not get much, but after I was discussing that I was working on calligraphy, I realized if I didn't show what I was working on, you guys might be inclined to take things out of context. I mean, not this group. Time lapse. Good point. Ooh, I like where you're going with the lamplighter. That might be a good option. Because what I could do, hold on, that's actually a very good idea. If I come over here, hey, you do what you got to do. I'm running very late today, but if I would, then I could, wherever you will. You just play with this a bit, and I am totally off where I want to be. Maybe not. I'm still in sketchy mode. This is the heavy version of sketch mode, where do that there. The support leg, because he is a professional reader. I'm going to have to move that around a bit. That's okay. The stretch leg, because of course there's a stretch leg. I'm not sure. And then, I'd be tempted to put him up a tree, and this may be way too much for framing. We'll see. I may have to take this, expand it, and just make a leafy moss non-frame overlay. We'll see. But it's nice. I just think, let me see. I come here. I go flood. Whoop, sorry. Wrong button. There we go. Let's see if I did that. If I did that right. Wait, just do this. If I did that right, we'll just real quick export this as a ping. And we'll call it Leafy Moss Text. We'll see how much of the screen it is taking up on normal mode. So we'll do this. Save. Save. Save that. Now, if I did it right, we go here. Doop, and I'll come over to my overlays. I was deleting some of my older overlays that are not required. And I just go. Did it not save it? Where it's supposed to be? Oh, no, it downloads. Every once in a while, it will randomly save things else. Oh, I'm in the video clips. That's the trick. 1 second. Come over here. More. Add file. Sorry, guys, you don't get to see this part, but now this is just the line work without anything to back it up, so it won't stand out real well, but I want to see how it sits, basically. Okay, so that means to work, it's not bad. I need to move. Oh, wait, let's turn the banner off just for a sec, see how that sits. I need to move him over to the side a bit more, so I have a little bit more room. And that will give me room to center up Leafy Moss. That's still not bad. I can work with that. So that means I just come over here. Let's do this guy real quick. And to fix what needs fixed, I just need to come here and go here. Now again, this is just the sketch layer, and this is just the layouts. And it did not like that at all for some reason. So, okay, fine. We'll do it like this. It's being cranky. I will deal with cranky. No. Oh, I chose wrong layer. Now I can move him over. I still think I might want to move the tree. And I think I want to move everything up to be above roughly the banner line. And that will fix it. I have to do, well, yes, I have to do a lot of this type of thing. That was terrible. There. This way I don't have to worry. When I'm figuring out precise things, like dealing with book covers can always be fun. I have to redo and actually get into Mandy's file to adjust her book cover, for example. But that should move everything, and I've got the room for my banner to be running. I'll probably thin this tree out a bit. But thank you, guys, because that means I am able to get this how I want to look. And it should look better. I'm going to take this back part down. So I'm actually going to just delete the Leafy Moss text. Yes, I know. Goodbye. How odd. I deleted the thing, but it's still up. Okay, so we'll do this and we'll do that. Ha ha! Victory for Nick. This is what we have to go through with some things. See, that might be I might do that as a full art picture. And by everybody who's leaving, if I'm still here, I might, I'll chat. Hi, all. This is Lindsay. Dan and I are listening and watching from a room as we paint rollers at dawn this morning. Hi, Lindsay. Looking good for the sketch. I'm glad you like it. And yes, I think he would almost look better up the tree, but that gives me the opportunity to put something cute in the tree looking down at him. So I'm going to make this visible just to make it easier for me to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to work on this just a little bit. And you guys have a preview. And in a bit, when I have to go and make lunch and eat with Xander, I can, you guys will have an idea what's coming, and then I may come back and finish this. And then next time, so Wednesday, you guys would be able to see it. Now, my plans for the week are that table behind me. I have to get the power set up, and then I have to do a whole bunch of study to try to figure out how to get my 3D printer to 3D print ahead of hopefully LibraryCon. If not by LibraryCon, by LaunchCon. But I have to get this area cleaned up in case that doesn't work. So we'll just throw that in there, throw that in there. I like the hybridization. I kind of like the bat looking at him. I'm also, because I see this lantern so often, I am seriously considering attempting to make a version of the lamplighter lantern. Yeah, I mean, I could rearrange that to be propped better. Be my thing. And see, a lot of times when I'm doing the sketch layer thing, and I'm not streaming, it will be this object gets propped there, and it gets moved around, and then when I'm finished on the sketch layer, I come back and I do this. That's pretty good. The trick will be coloring this guy solid and okay. I know what this needs. Aha! This needs a scroll wrap like so. It's been a while, so I'll have to tweak it a bit, but there we are. It's not lined up right, but I can fidget with it. It has that storytale feel. And yeah, I think I might try to make the lamplighter a lantern. But I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. This might seem a silly bit of task, and like I said, this is the kind of stuff I normally wouldn't stream to do, and I certainly wouldn't show you guys normally. Me twiddling my artistic thumbs figuring all this out, but sometimes it's good for you guys just to see backgrounds of the bits of the process I don't normally show. However, we are at an hour 40. I need to run another ad, and because of yesterday, my back is not happy with me, so I may be calling it momentarily. Let's run an ad for this.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho. Santa-Stein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Pure monsters beware. Indeed. But I like doing little frames for the holidays. And I would like you guys to remember that Leafy Mouse is something that belongs to everybody. I am not trying to profit in any way, shape, or form from this. I just want you guys to take the time to exchange books in whatever format you choose to encourage reading, and I will keep working on the artwork. What am I doodling? Every year I hold a small holiday called Leafy Mouse where I encourage people to exchange ebooks and things to promote reading and make it more accessible, and get people to come out of their shells and share their written word. And usually it centers around a secret Google folder where we put whatever PDFs we have, and we share things in progress, things that have been out a while, useful things we've acquired, and we do so just so that people can sit down and curl up with their books or e-readers or their phones, and with fall coming in, read. And it serves as a reminder to find copies of Night in the Lonesome October by Roger Zelazny, to then read those. So, whatever I do, I keep catching that one. So let's be smart. Let's start there. I could zoom in more, but the trick is finding the mix between being zoomed in. There we are. And we'll just ignore that little bit that it's going to scoop up, because this is still just a sketch layer. This needs to come up. Oh, yeah. Here, this could be moved because I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I have a plan. Don't worry. I'm going to get rid of this garbage. Now it'll be much easier for me to select, and I'm going to use the rectangle because I can just go beep. I have it, and I can go and center that a bit more, and I have to remember that this has to be higher than the scroll bar will be, and I don't want to lose things to that. Yes, exactly. And I like to celebrate the coming of fall and the end of the hideously burning orb in sky. So I'll probably be doodling on this in a bit, but yesterday, as part of my activities, I kind of took a few bits of hit to my back, so my back is a little sore. We'll have to see if any of my favorite authors have any new books coming out. Well, I know I am blasting to try to get something published by Logicon, something new out. My problem is I have too many nearly finished projects, and I'm getting swirly. I know Rich Asplin has something coming off the pipe. I know Donna just released some new things. So that's relatively new. Let's see. I'm trying to think who else has new stuff. Anyone with plans to release stuff that you haven't told us yet, guys? Hint, hint. Self-promote. I know I am barreling through on Paints and Hellfire 2. It's just my beta readers haven't had any time to really read. So I haven't had the energy of their suffering to propel me. I'm going to come down here and pull the opacity down a bit to make my life a little easier. brush a little here. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. But by working towards this lovely holiday of mine, I can promote great reading, great opportunities, and I hope you guys have something. And I hope you guys can share what you find. And like I said, I encourage all manner of fiction and nonfiction. I encourage you guys to write what you know and read what you don't. Because we all need betterment. So we're getting this nice little doodle session going, and I like that. Get to use some of my older techniques. I need to move this out. Do I use a calligraphy brush for that? I probably should consider that. It's going to give me a very different. That's closer to what I want. My rhythm is off a bit, but it's okay. Grab the white. There we go. Get some acanthus leaves going. I love acanthus leaves. They work very well for this sort of thing. There we go. And this is, how I spend my time when I'm in here, and I am not streaming usually, except I have uncopyright protected music. I mean, I have copyright protected music going. Stuff I can't blare right now. Because if I could, then I would. And depending on my mood, it might be classic rock, it might be smooth jazz, bossa nova type of things. I'm never quite sure. But it's a great way to get the relaxation of drawing, the joy of just this way, just telling the story visually. And using this to promote literacy, and I'm big on promoting literacy. But what are you guys planning for the fall? I know, like, this Saturday in lovely Fowler, Indiana, at Monarch Commons is Flannel Fest. And I might just attend. I might try to get me and my family out there and attend Flannel Fest. Not quite sure though. Have to, see how everybody's doing and see how we want to do. Temperature and weather and necessities. But I think it could be fun. It has been so long since I've done anything calligraphy related. Like, I can hear my old calligraphy teacher losing their mind right now. After today, a total knee replacement prep and PT continued healing of the wrist. Excellent. 75% of the wall is done, but light could be better in there. Hard to see any spots I missed. That's unfortunately going to be a problem. That, it's just almost unavoidable. It got a little off of that. I don't like that one. But I'm sure it will look remarkable. And I don't think if you have to do a little bit of touch up, your lovely lady will be too offended. She seems to be a wonderfully forgiving sort. Do we like how that looks? Let's zap that part. Not bad. It's a start. It's going to need a little bit more work. And I'm going to have to fix this paper line here. But I am thinking that I'm going to stop here and I'm going to run an ad or two. And I think I'm going to call it because, unfortunately, I have some things that require my immediate attention. And I am certain Lindsay is a doll. Ah, well, see, there you go. So let's hear, let's just hear from Kat, and then we'll wrap it up.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel. But otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
Creating, because as long as you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too. Toodles.